Welcome to the Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You're a concerned Tom's River resident. You don't have a coffee like I do. Kind of lukewarm, which is pretty good for me because normally it's cold by the time I get to drink it. Me and my Black & Decker coffee pot have been getting along. There's been numerous series finales in the last week. Being in the television business, I'm always interested in that. For that matter, Twitter, the websites. We're going on a platform called NJ On Air, where they break it down with entertainment and news. I don't know what my shows will be, but you'll be able to view our shows on that platform along with YouTube and live stream and on Comcast. But they'll be archived there. So I don't know. It might be on the bottom of the screen now. I'm signing the contracts this week, so I'm always interested in television. I have DirecTV, even though I'm on Comcast and Cablevision. DirecTV allows me to watch smaller television networks, their production values. I watch News 12 a lot, to how they do commercials and what their production values. I'm in that league. I'm not in HBO's league. So even though I'm not in their league, I like to watch everything I can on TV to see what new techniques are, what new editing, what new commercials, what CGI, all that stuff. And, of course, I'm interested in finales. Now, I'm a fan of The Big Bang Theory and the MCU, the Marvel group, and then we just had two big finales. And there was some other finale recently, Game of Thrones. I've never seen an episode of Game of Thrones. The only thing I know about Game of Thrones is one week they had a Starbucks coffee cup in a shot, and in this finale they had a plastic water bottle. In my studio, if we did that, you'd just hear me ranting and raving, asking the people, is this the business you want to be in? How can you make these kind of high school, and really, those are high school mistakes. So whoever allowed that to happen, because there's so many people who are watching the set. Now, in my studio, there's only a few of us, but in something like HBO, there are a lot of people watching. Nobody of all those people seen that Starbucks cup or that plastic water bottle, they kind of lend you to think it was allowed. Now, The Big Bang Theory was a two-parter in reality, and I'm a big fan of it. Funny show, well-written. Didn't really hit it out of the ballpark in the finale. Outside of, Sheldon, kind of like the Grinch finding a heart at the end. If this is a spoiler alert, it's been a week. I'm going to talk about Avengers Endgame. It's been out 3 weeks, so if you were waiting for the DVD to come out, spoiler alert. It was blah. But a lot of the finales are like that. Avengers Endgame. It's the end of the phase 3 for the MCU. Outside of Black Widow, that was a surprise. We knew Iron Man and Cap were leaving. So Iron Man dying and Cap going back in time to his original time, no surprise. The Sopranos, you recall that? What a head scratcher that one was. It just stopped. Seinfeld had an awful one. They were on trial and they get thrown in jail. Frasier had a good one, if you recall. Cheers had a good series finale. MASH, probably the best of all. The last shot, the helicopter, The Rock spelling out goodbye. That was really heartfelt. And like I said, Game of Thrones, I never seen an episode. I don't honestly believe in the era of the Knights of the Round Table. I don't believe that ever happened. But that's only me. I just can't believe knights in shining armor and 6-foot swords. All right, we're going to break for commercial and dragons. We'll break for commercial. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org. We're back. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I am in a short sleeve golf shirt. I put a jacket on. I'm actually wearing shorts. It's like 80 degrees outside. The season is finally started. It's not summer yet, but it finally got warm. I'm in the Ready to Roll studios here in Seaside Heights. So I was here over the weekend. My kids got a house down here. I was painting furniture. Jersey City guy, working on patio furniture. But I did work on my cars also, so I appreciate that. For that matter, great new product. I came across AT205. Spray this on your ball joints, anything rubber on your car, like restores the rubber. You can't grease these cars anymore. AT205, spray that on there. You can almost see the rubber coming back to life. And also I did some rust work. There's some rust reformer from Rust-Oleum. Get that too. But I was here over the weekend. They had a lot going on. It was like a battle of 150 bands. I'm a little aggravated. A friend of mine had the band. I wasn't invited to that, but it was all country western. And I hope they had it didn't look very busy to me. And an indicator in Seaside Heights, things are busy, is how much it costs to park. Parking was $5. So it wasn't very busy. I'm ready for the summer, spring. I don't like it super hot, but I got a golf short on. My wife's saying, "You're going to film in that?" I said, "Yes." You can't see me in the shorts. I want people to know. Spring has arrived. My man Mo Hill. He was here a couple of times in the studio. He was part of some of the telethons. Mo made bank. He got part of the Tom's River Republican Club money that they didn't want to give him. They were only going to give it to Joe Coronado. He's getting 25% of what was in the bank. And if the Tom's River Republican Club, as of this taping, doesn't come across with it, the judge is going to send an order to the Shore Bank and give Mo Hill approximately, I think it comes out to about $27,000. What are you going to do with 20? Yeah, actually, running campaigns in Tom's River, in Jersey City, where, this Jersey City guy, a run for mayor will cost you about $3 to $4 million. I think Steve Fulop, his last election, I think he spent close to $4 million. Down in Tom's River, I think you can get away a couple $100,000. But you're finally starting to see a campaign occurring. Now, $27,000 for Mo Hill, remember he said, I'm running a grassroots. Grassroots, when they say that, that means you have no money. Now that things have settled down, Gilmore's not in control anymore. Hill and Roderick, Coronado didn't. I don't think he had a problem raising funds, but Roderick and Hill can probably start raising some funds now. That buys a lot of signs. For that matter, I commented on 2 of the signs this weekend. I noticed Mo Hill's got some new signs on 37. I text Mo saying, I think you need to focus on Mo Hill because he's sharing, with his running mates. And Dan Roderick, I actually texted and spoke with him also. I like how one of his signs, well, maybe they're doing it elsewhere, but I just seen one where they put the bunting under the sign. You can't really miss it. You got the bunting, flapping in the breeze. It was a good touch. But $27,000, Tom's River, you can make some hay with that. Frank Holman has won the chair for the Ocean County Republican Party. He's the top guy. He won by 25 votes over the hand-picked George Gilmore candidate. As I predicted weeks ago, there is no surprise here. Actually, I was asked by Tom's River insiders, I was like, how do you know what's going on here? I'm predicting what's going to happen within the next month or so. And I said Frank Holman will be the Ocean County chair. And at first when I said that, I said, no, it's going to be the other Frank, Gilmore's guy. I said, no, it's going to be Holman. I'm telling you right now. So when he won the election, which wasn't a surprise to me, got some text last night, the night before, rather, that Frank had won the chairmanship. So congratulations to Frank, but it's no surprise if you watch the Tom's River Show. Like I said, by the way, we have the debate out of this studio on May 30th at 6:30. It's live on Comcast 190 here. Comcast better get me my pterodactyl. And you'll see it on YouTube. You'll probably see it on NJ on the air. Facebook, YouTube. We haven't had any issues with Facebook and YouTube. We do another live show, Hudson County View Live, and Facebook and YouTube have been okay. Sometimes they don't get along. It'll be at 6:30. Chris Lundy from Jersey Shore Online is the moderator. And I was talking to Roderick yesterday. Now, we got Joe Coronado and Mo Hill are confirmed. Roderick is, going a little back and forth. and he's concerned about possible, ambushing and shenanigan. I assured Mr. Roderick, as I as the producer or Chris Lundy as the moderator, there will be no shenanigans. It will be a straightforward debate. Everybody will be treated equally. I don't know what the questions are. I'll probably sit down with Chris and we'll go over some of my ideas of what he has. I'm sure he's got a better thumb on the pulse of Tom's River than, well, maybe I do have a pretty good thumb on the pulse of Tom's River. I got some ideas. Now, the debate is for the Republican primary for mayor. Getting the TR line for the Republicans is huge. You get the Republican line, that is huge, but not as huge as it used to be in Tom's River. At one time, that was it. There was no election because there was no real Democratic opposition for many, many decades. But that changed in the last go-round. In the last go-round, you had 3 out of the 4 seats go to Democrats. Now, Roderick flipped back to a Republican, but 3 out of the 4 Dems won a seat. And Maria Maruca, a friend of mine, I think she won by like 208 votes. So it was close that the Dems almost swept 4 of those seats. It will be a different game going into November with Petro. I haven't met him yet, but that'll happen. If the state Dems get involved, get involved with state Dem checks. Murphy and Sweeney and Tammy Murphy, Coughlin, all the big names, Steve Fulop getting involved, all these guys getting involved, getting the Democratic voice through Tom's River. Again, if the Dems can take Tom's River, they got brick, they would eventually take over the county boards too. That is a real concern for a lot of the freeholders. Again, as I said, we're doing the live primary mayoral debate here, and I'll also do the one in October for the general election. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom's River Show. We'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
I'm back, Pat O'Melia here. You, a Tom's River resident, concerned, I should add. Don't forget all the stuff on the website and Twitter. If you got issues in Tom's River, Ocean County, get in touch with me. Tom's River, they just approved the municipal budget. It is flat, and everybody's patting themselves on the back. It is not flat. That's why I have a problem with school boards and the county and the municipalities collecting. If you get your tax bill, it's got the school, it's got the county, it's got the municipal taxes. The mayors of these municipalities can only control what they control. But when you get the tax bill, not many people are sitting there breaking it down. They're just looking at the bottom line and they blame the mayor. The school taxes are going up, so your tax bill isn't flat. That answers the problem. And school is such a huge part of your property taxes. For that matter, out of the files of, are you effing kidding me, the Tom's River Regional actually had to postpone a vote on giving raises to supervisors. There are 4 supervisors, as I understand it. And between the 4 supervisors, their pay as it is right now comes out to $736,738. $736,000 a year. That's not counting the benefits. That's just the pay. And they were looking for a bump of $21,000 a year. This, after the cuts, the $2.8 million in cuts, they're talking about raises. Now, surprisingly, embarrassment set in, so we really shouldn't do this with all the problems we have. You're right. How stupid. This should have been just postponed. Should have been wiped. But hence lies the problem here. You're almost $750,000 just in salary, mind you, for these 4 supervisors, not counting the benefits. And for that matter, in this page here, the benefits, depending on individuals, could be up to $37,000 a year just for health. We're not talking sick. We're not talking vacation, just from the health. I don't know what kind of health plan it is for $37,000 a year. But think about that. You got $750,000. You're at 2.8 in school funding from the state right now. You got $750,000 tied up with 4 supervisors. You need 4 supervisors. Now just add in the superintendent. Now the Healy guy, I think he's banging down $240 a year. So just through those 5 now, five, you got $1 million. Again, not counting the benefit aspect of it. $1 million. That's including the superintendent. Well, what happens if we include, I don't know how many you got here, the assistant superintendent? Probably a good 2 or 3 of those. So really, it's just, you might be at $1.5 million. So when we have to start looking at how to cut it, and listen, going to Trenton and asking for more money is not helping you and your property problems and the property taxes you pay. There has to be a fundamental shift in how the schools are funded. I don't believe anybody's attacking the teachers, but things need to change. Now, Steve Sweeney is talking. Now, Sweeney is one of the voices of reason, and many people are saying, wait a minute, Sweeney's been there for 15 years. Maybe Sweeney's finally got it in his head saying, we have to cut property taxes. We have to look at all the residents of New Jersey as a whole. We just can't favor the middle class or, favor the lower earners, or we go after the rich, the millionaires. There shouldn't be a class warfare here. Everybody, rich, tax the millionaires, tax the millionaires, tax the millionaires. Well, I tell you, a lot of those millionaires could leave the state, and a lot have. And they just had the statistics on that. And they're the highest taxpayer, so you don't want to chase them out. But it's really wrong, and again, I'm not a millionaire, I'm like 100 to go after people because they're successful. It's wrong to go after people who went to school and got their skills or got their trade, and they're a successful plumber or a bank investor or a real estate speculator, or whatever the case is, a medical doctor, a psychiatrist, an engineer, an architect, whatever it is. They went out and they paid their dues. And because they're successful, we should attack them. That's wrong. I'll tell you, we wouldn't want to attack people because they weren't unsuccessful. Or you're a low earner, well, you shouldn't get any benefits. No, that has to stop. And the way it stops is trying to get control of all the state's expenses. And the big one is state government and the school system. Now, this $37,000 a year for a benefit, that's an actual figure that we're paying for state benefits for an individual. Now, you have some people double dipping. Now, you have 2 people, husband and wife, who work for the state, and both of them have their own medical packages. They could get the family package, and you're saving money that way. Instead of both of these people, what they have possibly is the platinum. That could be $30-some-odd thousand a year, and they're married, where you can get a family, and you're saving the taxpayer maybe $20,000 a year. These are the things that have to, loophole closed, or whatever procedure you want to call that. That has to stop. Sweeney's talking about moving from what they call platinum to gold. We'll say millions and millions of dollars. Yes, things like that have to be done. He's talking with state employees. If you're taking employment with the state and you're a new employee, you're not going to get into this pension. You get into a 401c. Somehow, and again, if that's not helping you today, but it'll help your kids down the road. Somehow, some way, we have to get a handle on the cost of the state of New Jersey. We can't operate it like it's the 30s and the 40s anymore. The realization has to be we're coming up into 2020 here. Merging the school districts. Man, is that a must. Remember I was talking about supervisors and superintendents? It's an outrageous amount of money we pay in salaries only just for superintendents statewide, because there's like 590 school districts, and they all have superintendents and assistant superintendents. Maxing out the boat check, and this happened in Jersey City, at $7,500 a year. We have people cash out boat checks, never using vacation or sick time for like $500,000, and shared services again. These things have to be mandated so we can start making it affordable to own a home and live in New Jersey. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I'll be right back.
Ramaa Jeweler is located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Ramaa Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Ramaa Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
We're back. You're watching the Tom River Show. I'm Pat. You're there. Thank you for still being there. I have my coffee. You know, I got this police enforcement, DWIs in the shore communities. Now, remember the shore communities, in particular Seaside Heights, Point Pleasant to a large degree, Seaside Park, Asbury, a lot of dependency on tourism. Not as much as Seaside Heights. Asbury Park, don't take this wrong, Asbury Park people. I see Asbury Park as Jersey City with a boardwalk. It's really just a city that happens to be on the ocean. And it talks about, we're going to talk about enforcement figures here, in this case DWI, but, they get DWI, but they're pulling people over left and right, and they're just stumbling into DWI that they're watching, whatever the case is. But before I got to sit down here to start taping, it was announced that New Jersey, Garden State Parkway, exit 105 is closed both ways for a police investigation. Well, what it is, there's an accident there. There is an inordinate amount of accidents on the Garden State Parkway. It is astounding how many accidents there are there, how many traffic bottlenecks we have on the Garden State Parkway because of accidents. Now, I'm not on there. I'm on there enough, let me say that, because I'm down here on the weekends and commuting back and forth from Jersey City. I'm down here Mondays taping the Tom River Show, so I'll stay over tonight and I'll head up to Jersey City Tuesday. It's what accident or what exit. And the parkway, for the most part, is pretty straight. Yeah, you got some turns here and there, but not a lot. Some hills. One of the problems I think we have on the parkway is people trying to get up the hills. They don't maintain their speed, or you got idiots that, are sitting in the left lane doing 50. But there are a huge amount of accidents. So I'm riding up and down the parkway, and I got to sit in the traffic because of accidents. And you finally come up to the accident scene. First, please, unless you're going to jump out of the car and assist, don't slow down and look. Just go. That causes so much traffic. Everybody's going. Be happy it isn't you. Like I said, the tow truck's there, the cops are there. They don't need you. Just keep going. Don't rubberneck doing that. The other thing that because it's a straight line, there might be fatigue, but I don't know when the fatigue sets in. It's the same thing in the morning or night, what direction you're going. I'm starting to believe is people not noticing the differences in speed. Now, some people ride the brakes. I know, people get brake jobs every 6 months. You can tell exactly when they're hitting the brakes, and you take a person like me. I don't hit the brakes every time I need to slow down. I'll take my foot off the accelerator. I'll see stoplights 3 cars ahead of me, and I know I'm going to have to stop, so I'll take my foot off again. I think one of the problems on the parkway, since it's straight, is the perception of speed. People don't see when the cars are slowing down, or they're not noticing it. And it could be cases of people like me who's not hitting the brake pedal. They're just taking the foot off the accelerator. And that guy behind is whack. I'm going to tell you, I don't know if there's any study on its potential, but I'm going to say 90% of the accidents, there's some people who run off the road. I guess they fell asleep, they have some medical emergency, but somebody getting rear-ended. And you'll see it's not just 2 cars when there's usually one of them. There's 3, 4, 5 cars that are in a situation like that. And it bewilders me that it's every day. If you're riding up and down a parkway, you'll actually see flatbed tow trucks stashed here and there so they can remove these accidents as fast as possible. But if there are injuries or a fatality, God forbid, there has to be a police investigation, and then guess what? You're hanging out on the parkway for an hour or 2 hours or whatever. The only thing I can figure, and I ride up the turnpike, there seems to be, in my opinion, a lot more accidents on a parkway than there are on the Jersey Turnpike. I think it's a case that people don't notice the changes in speed, the reduction in speed, when you have people like me who don't hit their brakes all the time. If I'm slowing down, I see 3 cars ahead, I see the brake lights going on, I'm going to start slowing down. That's the only thing I can figure. There's just so many accidents. And like right now, as I'm taping this, exit 105 is closed both directions because of police investigation, and that means a very serious accident. Police enforcement. And I've had conversations with Mayor Boz here because there are a ton of cops. And see, I'm surprised there is any crime at all in Seaside Heights because they have cops. And Seaside Heights has a police force equal to Hoboken's. Hoboken's average population is about 80,000, 90,000 people a year. During in season here in Seaside Heights, you're up to 80,000, 90,000 people in Seaside Heights with a population that changes every week or so. If people come down for vacation, they're gone, another group of people. When the off season comes, Seaside Heights drops down to about 2,200 people year round. But you still have the same police force because Chief Boyd can't lay off his police officers because other municipalities would suck them up. They're fully trained. That's a good deal. Jersey City would jump on these guys in a minute. Chief Kelly, whoo, completely trained. They'd come to Jersey City, we're taking them. And when you look at these are statistics with shore communities for DWI arrests, but they're not showing complete amount of cars that are pulled over and ticketed. Just some of the local around Tom's River. Tom's River, by the way, DWI arrests, they were number 38 in the state. They average 2.47 arrests for every square mile. That seems like good, but let's look at it. La Vallette's number 7 on the list. Point Pleasant Beach, they had 38 DWI arrests. That's an arrest every 9.1 miles. Seaside Park had 11 DWIs. Asbury Park had 31 DWIs, an average of arrests per mile, like 19.31 arrests per 19 miles. Belmar had 52 DWIs. You want to take a guess who number 1 is? Seaside Heights with 136 DWIs, more than triple most of them. But again, how did that happen? Well, you got a lot of cops in Seaside Heights, and they're seeing everything down here, and it's a shore community. They only have 4 or 5 months to get their municipal budget, and big part of their municipal budget is police enforcement. All right, we're out of show. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you during the week. Good night.